Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome to my channel. This, as you can see from the title, is going to be my annual plans for my BookTube and AuthorTube channel. In the coming year, I wrote the usual little list of points for it that I do every year. It doesn't really change too much from year to year, but I do, put a couple of different things in there, here and there, and sometimes I take points out that I had already covered. So, let's just get down with it. Now, first of all, as I've said in so many videos, as well as my yearly X years on BookTube and AuthorTube video, I will be committed to keep improving my thumbnails, my editing, the lighting, and this is more germane to my pen and ink videos. I don't really need this at all for pretty much any BookTube or AuthorTube videos, but I will continue improving my, overhead filming. I'm actually filming this on a tripod right now. I'm not using my computer because the lighting is too crummy at this kind of day. There's way too much darkness and shadowy stuff. But whereas this, filming head on with a phone on a tripod in front of me or across from me, it's much better lighting. So, I'm getting more confident at filming with the phone and then editing in iMovie afterwards. Although editing on iMovie on this phone and on my previous phone, as compared to when I've edited on iMovie on my iPad, they don't have the sound wave bar at the bottom. So I basically have to go through and see, oh, this is where I need to split the clip and edit out these frames, because there's not much of a clue with no sound waves on the bottom. So that's something I'll have to continue looking into as well. And I suppose I should also learn how to edit in iMovie on the computer. I'm having a devil of a time figuring out how the F to do it on the iMovie computer thing, because it's so completely non-intuitive. I can't figure out how to do anything. And so anyway, in the new year, I need to catch up on some tags. I'm very much in arrears. I might have about 5 or so BookTube tags I need to catch up on, plus a bunch for my PenTube content, although I will be probably making a separate video about plans for pen and ink videos stuff in the new year. And I will continue severely limiting the readathons and read-alongs I participate in. I'm pretty sure I will continue doing middle grade March, because that's just fun. But the other ones, I had too much disappointment in prior ones. I'm not saying, oh, that means they suck and I had a bad time or whatever, the people doing it are bad or whatever, not paying attention, and nothing like that. I just had too many unrealistic expectations. I thought at the start, oh, this is going to be a great way to make friends and network on BookTube, yay. And then, oh, the hosts almost never come around to people's videos, even when we're using the hashtag they told us to use, and even to say come through once, oh, hey, great to meet you, thanks for participating in our readathon, the support means a lot to us, thanks again, have fun. But not even the hosts came around to, at least not me, maybe they did to their friends, but I just had unrealistic expectations about what was going to, happen for channel engagement and friendships and network building and such on BookTube. So that just kind of left a bitter taste in my mouth, and I just pretty much dropped off from doing just about all of the readathons and read-alongs I had been doing. And I now realize, yeah, of course, just do whatever you want. It's about having fun. It's not about, collecting friends. But I just had really hoped it would help me get to know people. And a lot of the people whose videos I commented on, they almost never reciprocated, even to say thanks for participating, I'm glad to see you're doing the readathon too, I'm glad you're checking out my channel and enjoying the content. It just has to be one little comment that way. Doesn't mean, oh, they're going to subscribe to me and watch every single video and comment, just to just for them to show some support and realize I'm out there also participating in the readathon. So I again had totally unrealistic expectations that kind of made me gun shy for a long time. I might try top 10 videos again, but despite poor prior results, these were mostly top 10 historical fiction related lists. These are the kinds of videos that have BookTube and AuthorTube overlap. I usually put in the title for both readers and writers. So for example, top 10 X, I want to see more of an historical fiction. In the prior videos, I think I've had top 10 years or historical events I want to see more of. And for example, and these are all based off of blog posts I've done. For example, plagues and history, like, oh, the Great Plague of Justinian, or of course the Black Death. And within the Black Death, it wasn't just like 1347 to like 48, 49. There were many, many, many outbreaks of the plague in Europe throughout the like late Middle Ages and the Renaissance and even into the early modern era. And like sometimes these were like somewhat lesser, more confined to certain areas, and sometimes they were really bad. So like I could get 2 whole videos out of that, both the Black Plague outbreaks in historical fiction and like other plagues throughout history that would be fun to, well, not really fun, but you know what I mean, although I do have a like attachment or like an attraction, I guess is for lack of a better word, to like macabre, like depressing, like tragic eras and events in history, like great fires throughout history to write about. That would be like an interesting topic to explore. And this would be, well, you never know, like I've been naive about many other things. Oh, people like this topic. Oh, they're going to search for it. Oh, and they're going to see I'm doing a video with these keywords on it. Oh, they're going to click. No, they won't if they don't know you from Adam. But so anyway, another like top 10 video would be original ideas for Titanic historical fiction and alternative history. You know, that's been done so freaking many times, but like, so put an original angle on it. For example, maybe your characters on the rescue ship Carpathia, or Carpathia, depending on your pronunciation. Or, oh, imagine if like it's like Carpathia was like rushing at like full speed through that same like ice field in the middle of the night. Like, what if, like, God forbid, they had struck an iceberg too, and like both ships like vanished without a trace, and it becomes like one of like history's greatest like unsolved mysteries. So like there's so much fertile ground for great, you know, alternative history and like straight historical fiction about Titanic. Just think outside of the, you know, I guess the cliches and tropes that have been done so many times already. No, I would love to turn into a blog, a vlog, a video series. I keep saying vlog. Like for the longest time, I just thought, oh, vlog is just a video you make, like a video blog. Oh, no, vlog actually specifically refers to, oh, it's like a video diary. Oh, this is what I'm doing throughout the week or throughout the day. It's not just like any old video. I am such an over-the-hill dinosaur. But so, yeah. Anyway, like all sorts of things I would like to do like that. I'm sorry, I completely lost my train of thought there because this is a totally unscripted video, bar this list of points here. Another thing I would love to make a video series about based off of a blog series I did over this summer would be like corsets in historical fiction, debunking lots of myths about them. Like so many people, myself included, until maybe like 5 years ago or so, believed, oh, they're dangerous death traps. And the key way, yeah, to establish a woman like, you know, 100+ years ago is like strong, independent, proto-feminist is, oh, I know, she'll bash corsets and she'll refuse to wear them. Yeah, that's the only way you can like have a strong character in the 19th century. Where that's like complete malarkey. Like there's so many reasons I would love to do a series on that. And I also, you know, related, I did a blog post about girdles in historical fiction. That would be an interesting video to do as well. But obviously, like I might get like some like perverts clicking on that kind of topic, but you know, they'll soon see from the content it's like factual, like not intended for titillation. Like, sorry dudes, you're barking up the wrong tree. And yeah, I did get, you know, like prior poor results for my top 10 videos, but like I would like to try doing them again. Like I make videos for myself, not for other people. And because 11 is my lucky number, and I also love the number 13, just to stick it to superstitious, you know, like jack wagons, my top 10 lists are always like surprise top 11 or sometimes the top 13. And like so many other topics I have in mind for the top 10 videos. And I would love to do the readathon in May. I've like mentioned for gauging potential interest. I believe I'm twice now. Jewish American Heritage Month, and I had some videos talking about, oh, these are some great like potential prompts I could do, and these would be some interesting, fun like group reads. What do you guys think? And like really no one was interested, or at least not enough people. So like, why humiliate myself by hosting a readathon like nobody knows about, no one's participating in, no one is helping me get the word out regarding. So like, just leave it until I have a lot more clout and name recognition, and people could actually like help me boost the potential readathon, because I would be like so damn humiliated if, oh, I'm hosting a readathon and it's just me or maybe like 2 people are doing it. Like, what's the point? Readathons are supposed to be like big community events everyone is excited about and they're creating tag videos for. Like, oh yeah, I'm so pumped about like Renaissance-a-thon or whatever, Ancients-a-thon, or the Historathon that it has 4 quarters throughout the year that I've participated in several other times. It's not supposed to be like a solitary event where you're like the only one person doing it. Like that's the reason I have not created any original tags since my first failed, like humiliatingly, although I was kind of expecting that. I had 0 expectations, even put that in the title. And I think this was for my 200th. Yeah, it was for my 200th video. I still have problems with the TH sound even after speech lessons in upper elementary school. It was called the Hen Decad Hodgepodge, like a 0 expectations booktube, original booktube tag. And like Hen Decad means like 11 because, you know, my lucky number. No one did it unless they like failed to hyperlink back to me when they did their own like tag response to it. So not going to try creating original tags again until I get more clout and name recognition. So yeah, I need guaranteed interest and support for the readathon. I would really like to host eventually one of these Mays, and I will continue doing videos for Mental Health May. I really like that some people in the booktube community have been doing this for at least the last few years. I'm aware of. I'm really sorry if I'm speaking too fast. I always like catch myself doing this on playback or while it happens, and I'm extremely self-conscious about this, particularly when I've gotten like comments from like drive-through trolls. Oh, I really like how you're talking like 10 times faster than normal. I don't have to listen to it played up. Yeah, thanks for tanking my confidence, like anonymous troller. Oh, breathless blabbing, like talking too fast. Oh, do you really think comments like that, particularly unsolicited, are helping someone who doesn't have much of like an audience or is still like fairly new to like learning YouTube and stuff? Oh yeah, that's really going to make that person get better. Oh yeah, oh well, I guess I should just stop talking with my hands, stop waving your hand around. Oh, guess what, I do talk with my hands. Oh, stop talking too fast. Like, people, do you think people are not aware of like issues or quirks they have and they're just gonna stop it because some random troll drove through and told you, oh, you're talking too fast again. Oh, you're waving your hands around because, oh, God forbid someone talk with their hands. That's completely unheard of in the history of like ever. I am also going to keep doing original topics I like, regardless of my popularity. Quality over quantity. And yeah, of course, there will be sometimes I see other people, a lot of people like talking about a certain book. Oh, and I like that book or that author too. I'll just do it too. But I'm not going to like mindlessly hop on a bandwagon in the hopes of, oh, people are going to like my channel more. Maybe the algorithm will start boosting me more. I'll finally see my videos like recommended on the sidebar, the homepage, more than once in a beyond rare blue moon. And since I am, you know, filming on the camera and the phone now with an overhead tripod, I can finally get back to doing Dantean content, which was kind of the bread and butter of my channel when I finally returned to making like regular videos again in September of 2021. My issue, which I mentioned in a bunch of videos, not just like about the Dantean stuff, was I was like running out of storage space. I almost had no space left to like do like the kinds of videos I needed to do, not just like lengthwise, but like inserting images makes a video like much larger file. So I barely had any, you know, space on the iPad to like make the video or like import it, like airdrop it, and then like edit it in iMovie, insert all the images I needed, and then airdrop it back onto my, you know, Mac after the editing. That took, you know, storage space too. And sometimes I would like lose pictures or have to like export, airdrop tons and tons of pictures, and spent hours doing this, and it's still like barely any space or no space at all. I unfortunately lost almost all of my Hanukkah candle photos from 2024 because of this moving photos back and forth. I didn't realize they would be deleted from both of my devices, not just the one I had put them in the garbage can on. The only ones that were saved were like ones from the 5th night, my Hebrew birthday, that I had already shared to Facebook and on YouTube and a community post. So like, sad lesson learned. And there were some nice photos in there too, like including one where the candles were all like succeedingly, you know, like larger or like a smaller length. So, you know, it sucks to learn hard lessons that bitter way. But so anyway, now that I do have much more storage space capacities, I think 128 megabyte, or is it gigabyte? I think it's like megabyte or whatever byte it is. I'll put it on the screen. I have much more space now to do the Dantean content I used to do so regularly, in that I miss doing. For example, I am so long overdue, and this is for the, I haven't written a blog post about this yet either. Part 2 of my Contrapasso video. The first one was about Inferno, and this one will be about Purgatorio. Contrapasso is like the punishment you have in the afterlife. It reminds you of the sin you committed in this life. So, for example, on the terrace of the prideful in Purgatorio, they're like, you know, big boulders on their shoulders, and they're weighed down. They're humbled because they were so like puffed up in the worldly, the earthly life. And Dante says, oh, I know I'll be returning here when I am gone, and I'll probably spend a long time here. He made no bones about being like struggling with the sin of pride the most. And who knows, maybe he's still there with one of the boulders. Or, for example, in Inferno, the lustful in the second circle are constantly blown around by like a mad whirlwind to remind themselves of the wild passions that like consumed them and like drove their lives unhealthily in the living life. And La Vita Nuova, which was his autobiographical book with many poems as well, like his first like major work about his love for Beatrice. I would love to do a video about that and like dress up in my medieval costume. The Dantean artwork, I was in the middle of doing a series about that, but I was kind of like humiliated and disappointed. I spent like almost all day doing that one video about Bartolomeo Pinelli's illustrations, and like no comments. Well, I did get some comments eventually, but like before I got any comments, someone disliked it, like didn't even tell me why that person disliked it. It just seems like a rude drive-through thing. Like, look, if you genuinely like disagreed with a perspective, or you don't like the topic or something, like can't you at least tell me what you like disagreed with or disliked, so we can have a rational, mature like conversation, dialogue about it, instead of just, oh, I disliked it, but I'm not gonna say why. Like that just makes me like wonder, are you just being mean to be mean, or did I genuinely do something like wrong or that like offended you or something? And I'll talk about like Dantean films. For example, there are two versions of Inferno from 1911 on both Italian films. One is feature length, one of the earliest well, there were feature length films from the 1890s, but like one of the like first like major like mainstream feature length films. Up until then, like most films were not feature length, and the other one is about like 15 minutes long. So a very, very different treatment of Inferno, and general summaries of each canticle. That'll be, you know, something to look forward to. I haven't done many like Dantean blog posts as well for a while, I guess because like I knew I wouldn't be able to make corresponding videos of them shortly thereafter. I don't expect much of a change in my like statistics or popularity in the new year. The algorithm still seems to hate me, not want to, you know, promote me. Like most of my viewers seem to be like one and done, and they're not even my subscribers. They just like come through, and they frequently seem to DNF it from the average watch time. I don't really look at my stats or like statistics algorithm page, whatever. For that reason, it was depressing, but like I really don't expect much of a huge change. I'm open to like buddy reads, but I'm used to being alone. You know, Wolf, barely anyone knows from Adam. Like the one buddy read I did in 2022 with two other people, I kind of stumbled into that one by accident. It was arranged in the comments of a video. So, you know, like if you guys want to invite me to do like buddy reads, feel free to, but I just don't really expect anyone to do it if they like haven't done it by now. And I don't want to embarrass myself by bugging people like, oh, I don't really know you, why are you watching so many of my videos? Like, why are you stalking me? How do you know I like this kind of thing? I know that's like kind of like irrational thought process, but I think I've explained that in some of my mental health May videos, like why I have this kind of, I guess, like defeatist like mindset. Oh, people are gonna treat you like the annoying new kid at school without like giving you a chance. Like you have to prove yourself before they'll start grudgingly accepting you into somewhat of their inner circle. Maybe I should do a full like mental health May video about that, the reason I think that way. But, you know, I just don't really feel like up to like just asking people out of the blue if they want to do a buddy read, even if I've watched a lot of their videos and commented like, but we're not friends outside of YouTube. Why do you want to like, dude, the buddy read, like, ew, get away from me. Like, I just have this irrational feeling that's how people are going to react. And maybe I'll think about doing some kind of like intro, just blah 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 blah, like a couple of like 2 or 3 lines to introduce myself. But I stopped trying to like have some, not necessarily like one of those like pre-recorded like introductions of like 30 seconds or 10 seconds, whatever some people have on YouTube, but just like to quickly introduce myself and what the channel is about. But when I was still regularly watching a lot of those how to improve your channel videos, like Nate Black with Channel Makers, who has now gone off on his own. The Channel Makers are still doing their own thing. And Nick Nimmin, like they were like, oh, if you don't immediately hook your audience and ask a question they're looking to have answered, and you don't jump into the topic 100% from the first millisecond with no context or personal connection, they're already DNFing you. They're lost interest. So I was thinking, oh, if I like introduce myself, people won't care, they're going to lose interest. But again, that's not the kind of audience I'm looking to attract. Sorry, not sorry. I don't pander to the TikTok generation who would like have barely can sit still for 20 freaking seconds. I will like to try more videos about my own books, like, you know, summaries, like the writing process, like stories of the story behind the story, such like that. I have neglected that topic for a while. I will continue my series on my favorite writer, Alexander Isayevich Solzhenitsyn, particularly because this coming up year of 2026, well, I just celebrated my 30th anniversary of discovering him, but like 2026 will really be the 30th anniversary year of like really like starting to read his books and like get to know all about him and his like world, and like admiring him and like just everything he means to me. He was a wonderful writer. Well, I have qualms about his bloated red wheel cycle, as he called his 4 like historical novels, and his like I have no words for it, swan song, 200 Years Together. I'm dreading its complete English translation, and supposedly scheduled for 2026 because it's sorry not sorry, complete anti-Semitic garbage. It's not actual history. It's like WTF, what you're thinking, dude. But anyway, I will continue my series on him, which much happier videos than the books I do not recommend. Like, for example, his like biography, why so many people like might have been dismissing him as like a has-been after he came to the West. Like, he failed to conform as their perfect poster boy for various causes, like maybe like just for fun, like a imagined psychological profile of him, like maybe his like turn towards reactionary politics in his like final decades was caused because I guess like the trauma of like everything he went through, and then the like being fairly isolated in Vermont, didn't learn English, didn't really go out and interact with the like the wider community, like when he was in the Soviet Union, and like getting to like interact and be friends and stuff with all these writers. But that'll be fun, and like reviews of books of his I do recommend. I love Alexander Isayevich so much. I will continue surprise doing my videos about Beatrice Sparks. I did promise I still have 2 more videos to get through with this garbage book, Voices. This is the bottom of the toilet for Sparks. Like, I thought Almost Lost was the worst, and this manages to like sink even lower in the toilet than even Almost Lost. I promised complete like look-throughs about the it's horrible, disgusting, the offensive like Hindu phobia and the homophobia in this book. It's just like straight out of the 1950s. It made me so angry. Like, she describes the Bhagavad Gita, Hinduism's holiest scripture, as a dangerous, deceptive cult manual. How dare you, lady? And the homophobia, like fear-mongering, it's like straight out of the 1950s, like claiming, oh, all gay and lesbian teachers are predators and they're always grooming their students and they move around from school to school seducing them, and gay people are always like hooking up in gas station bathrooms, and all this like offensive homophobic garbage. It just made me so angry. I'm sorry, something just fell over on my desk. This is a small like space to maneuver around, and I have like a couple of other videos on her. I have not yet done a video about Jay's Journal, her only book that was like based on, like came partially from a real teen's journal, and like why we know, like I think 20 reasons, I think, yeah, 20 reasons why we know her books were not real journals, besides the fact that she was just a fraud. This is not how any normal person keeps a real journal. Like, they don't structure and write it like that. And probably a couple of others I can think of. And that someone like a nasty troll was leaving comments like, oh, is your mental breakdown going well? Because I had done like 15 videos about Sparks's books, like ignoring the fact that I had several other videos in between that. And guess what? I was doing so many videos in a row just on my computer with one shot through because of the aforementioned storage space. So those were easy videos to do that I wouldn't need to insert images into or do any editing on. So like, don't assume or judge people. Oh, you're having a mental breakdown because you're having too many videos on the same topic. Oh, tell me more about what I'm allowed to do videos on my own channel. And thanks for assuming that's the only video topic I will ever cover just because I did a lot in a short period. That was like too much for your precious liking, and pretending I didn't do any videos with like hauls and like middle grade March in between that. That just makes me angry when trolls like make these judgmental, like presumptuous comments. And I will be doing some videos on library tours, as I promised, like several of the different branch libraries I like to go to. And I did get permission from the librarians there. They said, just as long as I don't pretend I work for them or to represent the library in any official capacity, though it would be fun to get a job there. I have interviewed for the library several times. So thank you guys very much for watching all the way through to the end. I hope you have a very, very happy 2026. And yeah, I probably will have like a upcoming like video probably talking about like my ink and pen video content for the year, including the wrap-up of Inkvent for this past December, which I had a lot of fun doing. I can't believe this. I was so organized for this, and I'll be starting at 2026 in a very happy note because my left ear finally caught up in size to my right ear after an emergency downsize in early October, although they're wearing different plugs because this one is loose enough for double flares in 18 millimeters, and this is still not quite up to the double flare looseness. But yay, my stretching journey is continuing, and hopefully by the end of 2026 I will be at 3/4 19 millimeters, the next size up from 11/16 or 18. So thanks very much again for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye.